Welcome to your communication in a first South African language at NQF Level 4. In this module, you will be covering 4 unit standards: 119471, 119462, 119459, and 119464. You're probably wondering why we have included English or communication in your level 4 ECD qualification, and it has been included for 2 reasons. The first reason is, for a qualification you need to do a language module, and secondly, English is the business language in majority of countries, especially in South Africa. The main business language that you would need to communicate in is English, and that is why this module has been included, so that we can give you some tips, some pointers on the best way to communicate in a language that might not necessarily be your first language. So you will see that your English module is a little bit different. Your English module is broken up into 5 sections, and each section will have activities and a summative assessment task. So you will see that you will do videos or have videos for all of the different sections explaining what you need to do in the sections. And in some of the activities, you will find videos to explain a specific activity to you in a little bit more detail. So for section 1, it is made up of 2 activities and a summative assessment task. So for activity 1, you need to develop a questionnaire. Okay, so a questionnaire is a tool that is used to gather data or information that you need to report on or give feedback. So a little bit of thought needs to go into the development of a questionnaire, because you need to ask questions to gather the information that you need. So for your questionnaire, you will see that there is 5 different headings. The first one is job description. The job description is what is an ECD practitioner expected to do in the ECD environment. Training is what training does an ECD practitioner need to attend in order to be qualified. The nature of the work is the environment that ECD practitioners work in. Prospects is if there is growth in the ECD field. So for example, if you start as a volunteer, is there opportunity for you to grow in the ECD field? So you need to ask questions that will gather information that you can develop into a practitioner that has their own class, or become a principal, or become an owner of an ECD center. So you need to ask questions that will gather information on the prospects. And then pros and cons is the last one. Pros and cons, or advantages and disadvantages. That is, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages for a practitioner in the field. So it is not specifically related to an ECD center, but more what makes it difficult to be a practitioner, what are the good things about being a practitioner. You're looking at those things. So you need to draw up a questionnaire and have a peer answer those questions. So just keep in mind what the tool needs to be used for, because this tool will be used to gather evidence for summative assessment task 1, which is a research report on the ECD profession. So please keep that in mind when you are doing activity 1. Then for activity 2, we are looking at table matching tasks and skills. So you will see that there is a task, and then with the task there is skills required to complete the task. So in the example given, we're saying plan an activity. So a practitioner, in order to plan an activity, they will need quite a few different skills, and you can see that communication skills is needed, because you need to know how to work with children or communicate the task to them. Organizational skills, your activity needs to be organized, otherwise children might cause chaos in your classroom. So you need to plan ahead that all of the resources are there for an activity. You need to have cognitive skills to know that you can use an activity for different domains of development, or you could use your cognitive skills to know that you have certain children in your classroom that are going to struggle with this activity because they might have a learning disability or a special need. So you have the cognitive skills to problem solve. Interpersonal skills, you need to know how to communicate with different individuals, the children in your classroom. Computer skills, if you are doing your lesson plans on the computer. Technical skills, as I mentioned previously, to know that you need to include possibly a physical development activity and a cognitive development activity in one activity to develop the children. And then administrative skills, you would need administrative skills to keep record of the child portfolio, to keep record of your lesson plans. So as a practitioner, you would need to have administration skills. So that is what you need to do in this activity. You need to look at the task, and then you need to say what skills will be required to complete that task. And then lastly, for section 1, we will be looking at your summative assessment task 1, which is a research report. So obviously for any report that you do, you need to have an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. So for this research report, you will have an introduction on the profession of an ECD practitioner. Please keep in mind that this report is not about you as an individual, so please do not use the words I and me. You are writing this report as a whole of the ECD profession, so it needs to be generic, it needs to be specific. So you could use the questionnaire from activity 1 to gather evidence for this report. You can also use activity 2's information for this report. So you need to look at the different headings: job description, training, nature of work, salary, personal qualities needed, tasks and skills required, prospects, cons. Those are the different titles that you need to write about. And then you need to have a conclusion of the report as a whole. So for this activity or this summative assessment task, you will need to do a draft version of the report. Then it will need to be edited by a peer. So you will see that in the activity we have given you a tool for your peer to proofread and edit your draft report. And then once you have received feedback from your peer, you will need to do a final version of the research report. Please make sure that in the report you have clear headings and subheadings, and also some tips and things to consider when you are doing a research report has been included in the module. So please read through those pages that have been provided for you so that you can see that there needs to be different paragraphs. There needs to be indentation, which means the words need to be moved a little bit. There needs to be different ways that the text is presented, so paragraph form or point form or information that's in a table. So all of that needs to be considered when you are doing summative assessment task 1 for your research report. Is please follow the guidelines that have been given to you of the different elements, the different layout, the different things that you need to consider when doing your research report. And please, if you need any assistance, do not hesitate to contact your facilitator and they will assist you.